This is video O for other, O2, part of a series of videos I have taken because I'm for auctions of what I had been saying right along was 125 pieces of rose medallion porcelain. I have to make a small correction now for these related to these egg holders because I now believe these are not rose medallion but rose Canton. I'll explain that in a moment. These are definitely rose medallion. All of the units in the other videos, all 125 pieces, many of which you can see here. Not those candy canes, that's to help me because I've been talking a lot today. Those are, with one other set of exceptions, rose medallion, and they have been, every piece without exception has been in my extended family for just over 50 years. Depending on this emblem on the bottom of any type of import, this one says China. Depending on the emblem or the lack of an emblem, according to the web, you can tell when they were imported. The fact that these all of these say China means that they were imported into the United States between 1890 and 1915. If they said made in China, which none of these do, that would mean they were imported in 1915 or later. And if they were completely blank, again, let me give an example of that. Blank. That would be 1890 or earlier. So these date for import, presumably for the indication there, from 1890 to 1915. These I looked up and I'm calling them rose Canton, again, based only on what I've read on the web. These have flowers, they have a bird there, but they do not have people. The rose medallion is definitely it has people, as you can see on the here. And again, I'll get to these in a minute, and just to give a quick view of a couple of others, definitely rose medallion, you got your people there and so forth. So they're still pretty pieces. They're just, and I didn't even realize it until about 10 minutes ago in looking closely at these that they were different. These are in nice condition. I'm running my fingers around the top. I've got a little roughness there, but that doesn't seem to be a chip really. I'm going to offer these 3 sets in 3 auctions. 3 this way, one auction for them, 1 auction for these, and 1 auction for the pair of candle holders. So we continue with assessment of the condition. It looks worse in the camera than it does on the in real life. That too. Can't even feel that one. This one, I don't know. Hard to tell, but yes, you can feel it if you know what you're looking for. Now there's a couple of others. Pretty pieces. The flowers are the same ones. I don't know whether I'm destroying the pronouncing it correctly. Peonias, something like that. They are the same as the flowers that you get on the rose medallion. So it's a very similar style. Okay, I don't feel any problems with that, and looks pretty good. Okay, so that's the first group. That will be in 1 auction. We'll call that eggs 1. I'll call it. Okay, here we have eggs 2. I got to keep these straight when I put them away. Okay, got a little touch of roughness there, but it looks like a ridge in the porcelain, not a defect. Again, looking at the bottoms, they look all right. A little paint smear, but that's what you get with hand painted things. Well, that looks worse in the camera than it does for real. It's amazing. It looks white in the camera, and yet in real life it looks just less gold almost. That's a kind of a black, darker splotch, but in the camera it looks black. I don't know how to I certainly can't prove that to you. That it looks worse in the video than it does in real, for real. At least in this light. I don't have natural light anymore. The 75 watt bulb behind a white cover, just overhead right there. Okay, and the last one got a little roughness there. Again, looks considerably worse in the iPhone camera than it does for real. I mean, you could see it for real. See that it's different, but it doesn't look horrible. Whereas in the camera, it looks well, doesn't look. It looks worse. Let's just leave it there. That is not a nick. That's just a little white spot. Again, they are really showing up in the camera. There's no feel of a nick or anything there. Amazing. Amazing difference. Pretty piece. China. Okay, so that was group 1. Group auction number 2. Eggs 2. Now we have the candle holders. Now these are a little bit of an anomaly, I'm going to say. Excuse me. I'm going to say that these are both 1890 to 1915. This one has a China marking. I have to tilt it around here so you can see it. Okay, that is what it says in there, China. This one does not. If I only had this one, I probably would have said that this was without a country of origin marking, that this one was 1890 or earlier. But having two and having them be as close to identical as any two pieces that I have here, I mean, even on plates, I've got several with this type of styling on there, and there's always some variation, noticeable variation if you're looking. Whereas these two are, I might as well, they're as close to duplicates as I would expect any hand painting. The orange is different, but that's again hand painting. So I'm going to have to say that even though this one lacks a country of origin marking, that they're 1890 to 1915 as opposed to 1890 or earlier. The condition, I push the, I'll call it the unmarked one out of the way a minute. Condition of these, I don't think it's going to. I can't run my fingers around this one. You gotta look, but I will after I put it down. I'm trying to angle it so I get some decent light out of this light bulb above here. Pretty pieces. Faces are in good condition. I found looking at all the units I've got here that the faces sometimes are faded. I assume that at some point in the past, before my family got it, they sat out in the sun. I can't imagine any of these things, any of the utensils like the cups and saucers were actually used as cups and saucers. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'd be hesitant to do that. I don't know what's in this paint, but I sure don't want it anywhere near my lips. But having said that, they are just pretty pieces for sitting in a hutch in a dining room or as decoration on a table, which is the use that my family put it to over the years. Now there we go, I saw that one. That is a very small chip. Again, I am just stunned. I mean, even if these were 1915, it still means they're nearly 100 years in this country. Okay, and condition. What is that? That is a ding. It is actually still colored gold, so I wonder when that happened. That, I just noticed it. That looks like a patch. That has been patched. Yes, it certainly has. And it gives you a great illustration of why I would never attempt to patch. That is the only patch I saw. These are the last two of the 131 pieces altogether that I just went through several times, and that's the first time I saw that patch. I guess the advantage is when the unit is busy in terms of coloring, It's easy to miss that sort of thing. Now it's got me scared here looking at these, looking for other evidence. Okay, so these are not flawless. You have that one little ding there, and you have an obvious patch there. But they, while they may not be flawless, they are pretty. So I hope something of this interests you, or that perhaps something of the other items that I'm putting up for auction interests you. If the latter, have a look at one of the other videos and take a look for other eBay auctions that I have. Thanks for looking.